Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And today we have a super spicy one here. I wanted to build a deck completely around the mechanic of Coven and focus on just showcasing that mechanic as much as possible, try to find which cards are good. I like to do this because I think it's more entertaining to just like go all in on a mechanic for you guys than to build the absolute perfect deck here. But I'm actually really surprised with how this one turned out. I was worried that Coven wasn't going to be very good. In testing, it's been pretty good. Of course, every time I test and have really good games, it ends up being really bad in the video. So I'm hoping that this one turns out okay for us. Anyway, to tell you what Coven is, Sigarda, Champion of Light, 4 mana 4/4 with flying and trample, and humans you control get +1/+1. So a really sweet lord, which isn't a human itself, but usually it's other creatures that get it plus anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, but whenever attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest of the bottom of the library in random order. So we are a human tribal deck for sure, and it's pretty sweet here. So anytime the Coven triggers, it's if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. What that means is that the power level. I actually thought that powers meant something different when I was first reading this, like Coven itself was like a certain type of power or ability. Anyway, but it's just the different power level. So 1 as a power level here, 2 power level for Usher the Fallen, 3 for Sungold Sentinel or whatever else, the Intrepid Adversary, which also is a human lord kind of, or a lord in general, Maja 2, and then we just kind of keep going around there. So we have ways to have creatures have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 power levels, and that's basically all that we need. We do have the ability to buff up other creatures as well, which helps out a tiny bit as well. Disturb some creatures back as spirits, which won't get the buff, which sometimes helps us out. And then also Lair of the Hydra, which comes in as non-human, which means we can set it at whatever power level we want it to be, and it sticks at that, of course, unless they have Intrepid Adversary. So that's the basic idea, is that we want to get as much value out of Coven as possible, as well as just playing good human stuff in general. So Katilda is another great reason to be playing humans in Midnight Hunt Standard. 2 mana 1/1 human creatures you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color of this creature's colors. So white or green, we can tap to add those colors to make sure that we can activate this. And then we can always tap and pay 6 to put counters on each creature we control. If ever the board is just a little bit slowed down or whatever, we can just put counters onto all of our creatures and not attack in, which is pretty sweet. Or with our vigilant creatures, do that and then tap down. I'm not going to go over every single card here. There's a lot of good ones. Ambitious Farmland gives us lands. Intrepid Adversary is the main one that's awesome here, where when it enters the battlefield, we can pay 2, and all creatures get +1/+1 for however many times we've plussed up on this, which is really, really cool. So let's just go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how this deck actually pays out for us, and here we go. Wish me luck. All right, up against Cold Snap, not keeping that hand. Much better. Much better. All right, get to find lands too. Katilda's pretty sweet. Fateful Absence for some removal, and we do have almost our three powers there, so keep this. I think we're dropping Ambitious Farmhand. We already have ramp, we have a big guy. This isn't as necessary at the moment. Put it to the bottom and play out of Plains. Pass the turn. Sweet stuff. The nice thing about that card is that it can flip over. It does cost mana to do it, but you can end up having a nice lifelinker at some point. All right, let's go ahead and ramp. Get up to Sigarda. Sigarda seems legit. White and blue. Is this Azorius spells or spirits? It might be spirit tribal. All right, Cave of the Frost Giant already kind of done for on that one. Sigarda, get a 4/4 out there, pass the turn. Seems legit. I just realized I threw in an Usher the Fallen, but it's a spirit instead of a human. I just searched up humans and it showed up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a human. It creates humans when it attacks, which it does create 2 different powers, which makes it kind of worthwhile. All right, well, that's annoying. Down to 18. I was really hoping for a land there, so we can play this out and the Fateful Absence. I think the Fateful Absence is the best thing to do. So yeah, this has protection from werewolves as well. Yeah, even though Usher the Fallen isn't a human itself, it's still not a bad play. Yeah, dude, Spirits is terrifying right now. All right, so let's go ahead and kill Skyclave Apparition. Create a 4/4. Block the Usher. Kill the Geist. And I mean that was pretty good. Just having removal is kind of a good thing, I've heard. We're going to play lands from the top, so we're going to play this one first. Get a land from the top. Play this guy out. That is lots of different powers, so let's go ahead and give this guy a buff. Swing in for 5, and there we go. All right, not a bad turn. I like that turn. Try to think of what else we would play for this Usher the Fallen slot, because we need something that's 2 power in the 1-drop slot. It really does work the best. So I think we're just going to keep it because it can create a 2-power thing and a 1-power thing by itself. I'm only running 2 or 3 of it. So yeah, we're gonna keep it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's a human, clearly, and it stays at the same power when we get the buffs. That's the whole point. I forgot Teferi's in this one. All right, so choose up to 1 target artifact and 1 target creature and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents. Tap the chosen permanents you don't control. You gain 2 life. So tapping our stuff doesn't really do anything here. Yep, nope, doesn't do anything really at all. Does it? It doesn't say that they don't untap, do they? So you can untap his own stuff and gain life. Look top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. The rest in the bottom library in any order. All right, so it doesn't really matter. Faithful Absence can kill this as well, so that's nice. Let's go for this dude. Heck yeah. Pay once and pay twice. Whoa, 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 why did I pay another time? That was dumb. That was very, very dumb. I had lethal. Oops. I paid for it and then I meant to like click it like I've paid for it, but right behind me it has a auto pay to keep going, and because I could pay another time, it just forced me to. Unfortunately, I think this deck will probably be playing some board wipes, and so there is the chance that they're going to have that, which is kind of terrifying. Being able to play everything from the top of our deck is so cool. That is really, really powerful. Another Fateful Absence, dude. Fateful Absences have felt really powerful. Very, very powerful. Teferi can untap stuff here if they need to. Negatives, tries to find stuff, but doesn't untap, so it doesn't matter here anyway. We have lethal. So I mean, I messed up there, but we still got a hit in for 8. You know, like we're still in great shape. Get to play a Plains off the top. Get to play a Faithful Absence off the top. Kill you. Sungold Sentinel. Another land if you want to. Dude, this Augur of Autumn is so good. It's ridiculous. All right, and we're gonna go attack in this time. Coven, yes. I mean, I made so many mistakes in this one. I played a card I'm not supposed to. I played whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like, this is just, it's actually kind of going crazy. So yeah, you can block the 7/1. I think we're still gonna get in for a little bit of damage. Just a tiny bit, you know, just a little tickle. There you go. On to the next one. Up against Mike C, and this is the awkward hands with these guys. I'm going to keep this still. It would be so great to be able to play out an untapped 1-drop here, and then Katilda play the other 1-drop. Like, it's so good. In fact, this with there's a lot of just like rampy things that we can do in this format now. All right, Katilda, looks like we're up against a Death Touch deck, which Fateful Absence helps us out quite a bit against that one. Wouldn't mind being able to draw cards. Protection against werewolves. If they have removal here, it's going to be annoying. As long as we can kill Flynn. Flynn is the guy's name. Ranger class. Maybe that's just a 1-drop. They're playing other stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, I can turn on Coven with this right away. Get a couple creatures out, have a blocker that blocks pretty aggressively against this. You can play out just other creatures, but I only get one of them out, really. Would love a land. Ramp it is. We get to ramp with 2 creatures this way. We could have played these guys out. The first strike is nice, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the first strike. And the ward actually is nice against Blizzard Brawls and whatever else. Definitely willing to, I guess we can't really trade off. Death Touch gets the plus counter onto it. That's fine, no blocks. Down to 18. All right, we get to start going off now a little bit. So, Chaplain. Yeah, as long as you have Katilda, man, it's so good. All right, we have lots of white spells we want to cast. I want to save this for big dudes. Don't want to spend too much mana right away. We have Coven, so I'll be able to pay for this and get protection if need be as well. I only get 2 mana if I play this right now. Man, we really need another land, though. Yeah, don't exile anything. So, yeah, Coven achieved. And I think it's just passing the turn here. Wish it was protection from wolves and werewolves, since they always make that distinction anyway. That would be sweet. Pass the turn. Hold on to Fateful Absence. I don't really care to kill any of these guys. If they put a counter onto one of them, then sure, but we can wait until that happens so we don't kill the wrong thing. We can always just block this and give it protection. They might have something in response to that, but fine. All right, so they get to put the counter onto it. Yeah, I think we hold on to the Faithful Absences. We block here. We activate this. Wait, how does it work? So, oh, it doesn't have all of the same protection. All right, so now we get to go for this Faithful Absence, kill it. All right, we got the Snakeskinville out at the right time. Sweet stuff. Definitely should have waited. So I was thinking this was just like protection, but it actually is a little bit different. So it gains Hexproof from the color until the end of turn. Can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So everything except for the defensive side, like damage can still be dealt to it from this if I'm blocking or attacking, if they block beforehand or whatever. All right, we finally found a land. That's nice. Let's go ahead and do that. Do we just put counters onto everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it at instant speed. I'm not attacking this way, but I think putting counters onto everything is going to be better, especially with first strike creatures and whatever. Let's just pass the turn here. Do that 1 or 2 turns. This is a matchup where they can get really, really big creatures really fast, and we got to be scared of that. We already used 2 of our like 4 removal spells in this deck, so we're just gonna have to go wide and beat them down. Tracker. Well, we already gave you clues, so that's cool. We're gonna have that for days. Let's see if they attack in. All right, so counters onto everything. Oh, I have to tap it and then do it all. Oops. Oh man, I messed up again. Dude, I have been making so many mistakes this game. Oh, it is brutal. Wow. Okay. Well then. Pass the turn. Yeah, letting him have all the time in the world to find things. Like, we're not really ahead, though. Ah, that's really awkward. I forget, it has to tap. I was thinking I had 6 mana, but it has to tap as well. Goes to combat. Gets a counter. So we have our 2 first strike dudes that can block there. And we're going to go ahead and throw this one. Actually, no, we're going to throw this one at it as well in case it's Snakeskin Veil. And we'll do this one. Okay, 3 blockers. I'm hoping to kill it with the first strike damage with the counters here. As soon as we have a priority passed to us, we can do that. And opponent's taking their sweet old time letting us pass priority. We might make another mistake here. I tend to do that kind of thing. Yeah, don't even think about asking us how we want to tap. Just do it. Thanks. I feel like I telegraphed that a lot. So, that's fine. Alright, dies of the first strike damage. Sweet stuff. Still have the Coven. Opponent says good game. We will say it as well. Alright. Dude, I am playing so bad. The deck is just that good. Clearly. Alright, up against Lidl. And, we're gonna keep this a little bit. Yeah, these overgrown farmlands, all these are a little bit interesting. There we go. Life is fantastic now. All right, play out Lair, pass the turn. I figured all we needed was one land and everything was fine. And these do technically, well, playing this on turn 1 doesn't matter if we don't have a 1-drop. I'm not gonna overthink it. You guys get it already. Don't make the mistake I almost didn't make. All right, Sungold Sentinel, pass the turn. Yeah, that I do think it's really, really cool that right now we have creature lands that are untapped on one of the first 2 lands, and then we have dual lands that come in untapped if they're the three or more. No blocks, take it. Rakdos, control of some sort. Sounds terrifying. Let's get out the Augur though. Adversary is really good. If we can keep it alive, getting everything out of damage levels is good. Gelatinous Cube. I don't know why I stuttered there. Takes the Augur. Probably to be able to swing with Shambling Gas. I'm fine with that. We can Fateful Absence, get it back. Then play out the other Sentinel. Get out to Maja pretty soon, and then I'm hoping for 6 mana to go for this one later. Just hoping to be able to play something else off the top so I can get more lands. Yeah, get rid of Gelatinous Cube. I don't trade if I play a Lord on the next turn, so pass the turn. I do want to start getting aggressive, though. Fateful Absence has been feeling sweet, though. Alright, Treasures is always annoying. 2 damage kills a lot of things in this format. Kill something right now. Yeah, there you go. Just don't kill my adversary. Cracks a clue. Doesn't even wait at all. Just goes for it. Land off the top, sweet stuff. Now we have Maja. And yeah, that's what we do. With Autumn of Augur, yes. It's so good. And our next guy giving us extra lands for landfall. Cement 0. It doesn't actually give us anything if it does it right, so that's fine. Hit it for lots of damage. They get to chump a little bit. Get a treasure out of this. Have some mana to get rid of things. Scary. Yeah, this guy making humans seems really good in a humans deck. This guy goes and grabs a plains to be able to put into our hand to be able to make sure we keep hitting our land drops. Unfortunately, the only land that really sacrifices to go find other stuff to get 2 land drops is Evolving Wilds, and that's just a little bit too weak. That's a Goldsmith Dragon. Are they holding back? Ooh. I was gonna say 5 mana and 3 cards in hand. They should be able to find something else worthwhile here. We're in a lot of trouble. We need to gain life and fast. That was the one downside of not playing this adversary instead. All right, so we do find land off the top anyway. And I think that this gives us lethal. We get to activate this twice. All right, and swing in. Exile cards from their graveyard, and yes, there we go. Whew. All right, I mean, they had double Goldspan Dragon. That's really good. But, man, Augur of Autumn with Maja and everything else just felt really, really solid. I feel like we need to perfect our early game. We need to fix the turn 1, turn 2 stuff. All right, up against Cal and 1 green source, and this is the bestest hand of all time. I like it. All right, so Plains, Usher, not a human, still good. Pass the turn. I love that Intrepid Adversary is still just like a fantastic play regardless here too. So let's go ahead and tack in. See if we can get them to use a burn spell here. We're good. Sentinel, pass the turn. Just good stats for creatures. 5 power, turn 2. Flamethrower Sonata, that does kill stuff. Gets to kill Sentinel here. So green source for the Augur of Autumn. I don't really want to play out Intrepid Adversary just on life gain. So let's go ahead and make a human. Down to 16, pass the turn. Yeah, I mean, I think that in general, I really like Usher the Fallen. Even though it's not a human, it makes humans. It just feels really solid in this deck. So I'm glad I did it. Humans get to add mana. That can give us a little bit of ramp towards other stuff later. Yeah, let's do that one. Only 1 human, so I can't actually do this. I can swing in with this one, though. And create another human. Down to 14. Not sure that's better. I mean, with Intrepid Adversary, it could be. More humans means we get to buff this more. And right now, we're at 6. And 6 is good. That is every single Augur of Autumn. I think we drew them in a row. What? All right, we have one of them in the opening hand, but come on. That is ridiculous. All right, yeah, X2. Then we'll offer the trade-off with Usher. So autopay and autopay. If you want to trade, that's fine. Hit for 4. A lot of your damage dealing stuff does not kill us now unless some sort of board wipe. 3 power still not that high. Or 3 toughness, I mean. Draconic Intervention. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we were worried about. And now Augur of Autumns are 4 copies in our hand without another green source is so brutal. It's so bad. Oh no. No, not like this deck. Oh man. Draconic Intervention. Yeah. I mean, it's a card. It's not an amazing card, but it's a card. Why not? Gets more treasures. Keeps ramping up to probably other Magma Opuses in hand. And I think that we're falling really far behind now. I mean, what an aggressive start. We had a really good start there. We were worried about that. And typically you get to rebuild at this point. One-sided board wipes happen to be very good against aggro deck. I mean, surprise? I think not. Wow. Okay. Yep. I mean, oh man, I am such a bad Magic player. I totally messed up on this one. I swear, this one I feel like I actually played everything out the right way. Like, I think I did everything good. Maybe overcommitted, but if they didn't have it, it was going to be lethal on the next turn. You have to go for that. It also is, maybe I could have ramped up to the Augur of Autumn to try to find more lands, but we haven't found them anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, good game. All right. And we're done here. Oh, man. I don't want to lose like that. That's how Magic goes sometimes, and it's okay. All right, up against Trick, and pretty sweet hand. I like this. I like Sigarda. I like the ability to kind of ramp into it here with Farmhand. Pass the turn. So Farmhand I really like. I like it in this deck, but I think it's also a decent card for... I think it's the new... I don't know. It could potentially be the new... What's it called? What was the saga that got us land? I can't think of it now. Yeah, can't even think of it. Not even a little bit. All right, doesn't matter. Offer the trade, vigilance. Nah, we get to grow stuff here in a little bit. Actually, it's not a human. That's fine. Next turn, boasting is not a bad play if they don't have something worthwhile to Fateful Absence. Colossal Plow. All right, so we're holding up this Fateful Absence for that now. Do I attack him with Usher the Fallen? I want to... If they're playing this, it means they have the Ox in it, which means that we need to be able to kill it right away. Otherwise, it gets out of hand. We'll go ahead and offer the trade here with either of them. They kill the Usher. I think that's just fine. We hold up Fateful Absence. Pass the 19, pass the turn. I'll say oops. Oops. And act like I don't have anything. I was just really wanting to play this Usher of the Fallen. Oh no, he has the Ox. I never would have guessed. Yep, tap that down, resolve, crew it up, go to combat, and now we get to Fateful Absence. Oops. Oh, I'm so evil. I love it. All right, Plains, Sigarda. Attack in for a little bit more. Pass the turn. Coven a little bit awkward with this Usher of the Fallen. Sometimes things get up a little bit, but most of our other creatures are 1 power or 3 power, so having 2 power stuff is good. Maja is another 2-powered thing, so yeah, it'll work out. We have lots of things to give us Coven here in the next turn. And then it says whenever it attacks, so right, that doesn't do it. So yeah, attack in and boast. Makes 2/2s. I'm fine with that. If they want to trade off with it, cool. I definitely got value out of it already. Down to 11, pass the turn. Sigarda is awesome. Just a 4-mana flying trample. 4-mana 4/4 with flying and trample is good stats. It doesn't kill everything, whatever, but it does trade off with basically everything in the format. Are there really any things that don't have 4 toughness? The blue dragon. Blue dragon is big and scary. Dude, I love these lands so much. They are so pretty. Look at that. Would you look at it? All right, attack in. Like that. See how they block. So we have 6 mana. Katilda can put counters onto things. Definitely want to kill the flyer. All right, activate this. Counters onto everything. Is it everything? Okay, yeah, all creatures. Sweet stuff. Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. This deck is feeling really solid. I'm playing in free play right now because you've run up against more interesting decks in free play. I always like it for videos. I say this every time. But that was good. That was really good. All right, so Coven felt sweet. 71% win rate so far out of 7 games. I'm not showing one game where I just totally messed up on the play, or not on the play. And then I did some testing a little bit beforehand as well. So anyway, overall, this deck was good. It was really good. We were on the play a lot, which does help, but 50% on the draw is still really good too. That's what you're looking for. And then 80% on the play. Whew, man. And this is just a really good aggro lineup. And so I think we need to fix this a little bit. I realize Lunarch Aspirant needs to be on the deck. I realized that halfway through. Lunarch Aspirant, putting counters onto things, making sure that Coven actually works with whatever. Keep getting things bigger. It's awesome. It's a human, and you don't always want to be attacking in with it either. So tap with this. It does mean there's another 4-drop or another 2-drop, which I think Ambitious Farmhand can be a 1 or 2 of, and be just fine. So Lunarch Aspirant needs to come in. As I said at the beginning, this is more focused on Coven and trying to make Coven be awesome. We didn't really Coven all that often. Augur of Autumn, when it went off being able to play things both, lands and creatures off the top, was because of Coven. Dawnhart Mentor, I felt like it was pretty weak as well. I think Lunarch Aspirant would be better to try to make sure we can differentiate stuff. Maja felt pretty sweet though. Sungold Sentinel felt pretty sweet. Intrepid Adversary, it just felt awesome. But yeah, Lunarch Aspirant is the #1 thing that needs to come in. As far as human that are in the 1-drop slot here, Cold Spell Cleric could be interesting with Vigilance. Having things with different power and toughness is what we're kind of looking for, though. And everything is either 1 or 0, it looks like, except for Usher the Fallen, which, I mean, Usher the Fallen is close. It's really, really close to being good enough here. I'm not sure if it should be or shouldn't be. With Lunarch Aspirant as an option, I'm not sure either. Archpriest of Iona is a little bit interesting. There's a Cleric here, and we do have some Warriors. Oh, I took him out. It's one of the other guys. Usher is a warrior. This guy's a warrior, and there was another one that has Coven that's a warrior. In the 2-drop slot that I took out here. Where is it? Doesn't matter, I guess, because I can't find it. Here it is. Harvestal Sentry is a warrior, which could be interesting as well. It can't be blocked if you have Coven by creatures with power 2 or less, so it can't be chomped, which is nice with a 3/1. All right, anyway, this deck was fun. I liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.